Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. Okay, so I thought I'd do this video because I won't be streaming tonight, but I wanted to just bring you guys towards the close of the New York session. I know we've got a couple of hours or so just before New York does finish the trading day, and just to really understand what has been going on with Bitcoin. All right, so mad love and respect to everyone passing through to the channel. If it is your first time passing through to Traders Reality, welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Tino, and we're going to have a conversation about Bitcoin and what they have done today. So, firstly, we need to just roll over to the charts and understand what the story is with Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame. Now, I always refer to the hourly because that's where I'm looking for intraday patterns. Okay, now listen. My strategy that I use is day trading. I'm concerned with Bitcoin moving from a small time frame. So whether it moves within 12 hours, 6, 2 hours, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, as a day trader, that's all I'm interested in. I have no preference for Bitcoin to go to 100K from this point. All right. Why? Because it's irrelevant for me right now, because Bitcoin's not even above 43, and we're going to consider the 100K mark. For what reason? Nice to have an optimistic view and say, yeah, Bitcoin could reach 100K. I've even seen a thumbnail on YouTube talking about Bitcoin getting to 15 million, like crazy. Okay, anything just to get someone's attention, even just the idea of Bitcoin going to 15 million. How could you know, what needs to happen on that principle? Okay, so let's go back in time to a few streams ago where we were looking at this bigger play by Bitcoin. All right, so I'll drop onto the 4 hour time frame just to understand where we are at. As it stands, this is the pattern that we are waiting for a complete move away from the zone. Now, this move that happened today is, in my opinion, a shifting out of the range. Why? Because when they move away from the zone, from where they are accumulating from, it's saying something about what the intention is by the market maker. We've got every reason to believe that they are likely to move higher because we do see previous zones of liquidity in the chart. Now, what we want to see is we want to see another push like this in the Asian session, if that true follow through is going to happen. Okay. Now, what you're looking for also, guys, is this. When you see this big move to the upside, now, of course, this is a bigger pattern. So naturally, we would expect it to retrace back down at some point, probably stabilize, move up again. All right. But given with the current circumstances around the world, we're going to try and assume that Bitcoin's just going to continue higher and every new candlestick is going to crawl slowly to the upside. This is where it's going to get interesting at these points in the chart. Why? Because it's the 4 hour. Remember that. We haven't broken above the 800 EMA in a very long time. All right. If you look at the chart itself, you can see Bitcoin tested these zones only once over here, but that was at the crossover of the 200 EMA as well. So the guys that took advantage of the old, the death cross, okay, they would have realized a decent return if they had paid themselves soon enough. Okay. Now, because we haven't got away from this 800 EMA just yet, ladies and gentlemen, does it mean that you don't take any positions or favor any higher price action? Well, let's look at the logic. Where would you consider going long from? That's the question. What's suited to your risk preference? A holder's going to think, okay, I might actually get some more Bitcoin because it looks like it's holding this range. Are you making your reasons to go long because it can hold this area here? How long is this move going to last for? Because until Bitcoin breaks above the 800 EMA, we can't make the assumption that a bullish move is going to happen. But we can assume that Bitcoin is currently preparing for a markup phase. All right? Because the rule of the W formation is this, ladies and gentlemen. Once it comes out of the range, which is this area right here, okay, we are waiting for a retrace back down to test the intention of this move to the upside and then shifting away to continue with a level, an additional level to the upside again. And then, of course, we would wait for the repeat of that to happen, and then we come to a peak again. Okay? So what we're waiting for right now, guys, is this area here to come to fruition. That's what we're waiting for. All right? Now, some of you might think you missed out on this move to the upside, but depend on what time frame you're looking at it from. If you're a scalper, you've missed this move. If you're a swing trader, there could be a possibility that Bitcoin might continue higher. What's your risk preference? What will you need to see Bitcoin do to solidify this move to continue higher? Yeah? If they're going to move away from this zone and the sheer fact that they are dismissing what's going off across the board. Now, remember, look, people are having Russia and Ukraine having peace talks. Are they going to follow through with them? Are they going to fail? What's the financial impact of this thing with these sanctions happening to Russia? What's the story with SWIFT? There is so much that can be absorbed in the price. Frankly, price has already absorbed all of that information, okay? So really what we're waiting for is the story with the interest rates with the US, because we haven't spent that much time on it. Okay, so the markets have done what they've needed to do. Interest rates seem to be the issue right now for the US. So you can see across the board, we've got, for example, let's look at the trader sentiment list right here. Okay, so let's look at the S&P 500. Given with all what's going on in the, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Given with what's going on across the board with the S&P 500, it would be safe to assume that they may have found some support at this 800 EMA, because this is a real sharp drop on the 800 EMA. The last time it did that, it actually violated the 800 EMA and it came very strongly back up above it and continued to make this mad move to the upside. I think the S&P is up roughly around 34% from last year. Okay, so we've seen a big movement in the S&P. This sharp move down, okay, would be deemed as the corrective phase. It's the sharp retrace, the reset of the range. In other words, are we expecting now the S&P to hold itself and move higher from this point? We would need to see at least 3 solid days worth of closes higher than each day for us to solidify the move to continue higher. And of course, we would need to agree that the S&P and Bitcoin itself has a clear break in terms of correlation, because it seems as though S&P 500 moves up and so does Bitcoin. But that's not the case today. Today, Bitcoin has just had a free roam to do exactly whatever it wanted to do. Naturally, that's what we want to see. All right. When we look at Bitcoin against gold itself, you can see gold has been consolidating in this range whilst Bitcoin has been moving higher. Why is that? Yeah. What is it about Bitcoin today that is distinctively making us believe that something is happening with Bitcoin? Is the market maker just getting ready to run to the upside to take out all of the shorts and induce traders to step in again? Could it simply be a false move? Okay. Just to prepare for price to drop lower, which this move right here is preparing gold to come back up into this range right here. All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you're dealing with the realm of uncertainty. You're never going to know what it can do. All you can do is just hunt for confluences. Try and work out, based on previous experience in the charts and certain plays that you've seen them do before, what are the chances of them actually going from one point to the next? Remember, if you're trading higher time frames, it's going to take a little longer for you to establish that. All right. The US government bonds themselves, look, they're taking a battering to the downside. Traders are seeking safety. Okay. The USDT market cap dominance for Bitcoin is coming down. All right. So we've got this zone right here. So we could make the assumption, all right, that USDT potentially could come into this range on the principle of the vector candles. But remember, this is a psychological factor here. It just tells you when traders are favoring risk in crypto or not. They'll take their money out of crypto and they will run towards USDT, which would mean USDT is rising to the upside because people favor USDT. When it drops, it means people are favoring risk. So that means they're taking money out of USDT and putting it into Bitcoin. Okay. Now, some people can get to take advantage of volatility. You can run your money into PAX. Okay. So PAX is backed up by gold. It follows gold. So you could assume that if gold is going to be holding this zone right here and make a move up, you would expect PAX to do the same thing. Okay. But what's concerning me is this. Just look at what gold's doing and now look at what Bitcoin's doing. Okay. Bitcoin has been rising non-stop. We've got the start of a new 8 o'clock candle, 1 hour time frame. Happy days. Are we going to see Bitcoin just continuously move higher? Because they've got every reason to come higher. Okay. But again, this is an extended move up. trying to catch longs in this area, you'll be doing exactly what all the retail traders are doing, rushing to the charts to think that Bitcoin is going to continue higher. Guess what? It could actually continue higher, and it will continue long enough to keep you committed into your trade and probably add more liquidity so that you can start earning more off your trade. You see what I'm saying? Again, ask yourself the question, what does the market maker want the retail trader to think? Okay? If the retail trader thinks he's missing out on a big move to the upside, he's going to want to give that retail trader an excuse to get in by keeping price higher and moving slowly to the upside. All right? So just be mindful of that. Given that we are in this big pattern formation, we are waiting for them to try and either move higher, to come back, retrace, continuation to the upside, which would see the retrace of the 200 EMA, and then price and the 50 EMA would cross over like so. 200 EMA would cross over like that, and then there would be this curvature and price would continue higher from there. Of course, if they do that beforehand, in other words, if they do it before they cross over the 800 EMA, that will be a good sign, because then if it does continue to move higher, then the 800 EMA would end up getting closer and closer to price, and it wouldn't have a problem crossing over the 50 and the 200 and then start resuming its upwards trend like so. So again, until Bitcoin can at least retrace, continue up, we are still waiting for the shift, in the complete shift out of the zone, okay? Because this is the start of it, all right? We said last week that this big area here could be the first push. This could be the second push. The third push is yet to come. That's what we're expecting. And it's the third push that will reveal to us if the retrace of that third push is going to be the reset for them to start moving higher again, so that we can then see one push, two, and three one more time. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I won't be streaming tonight, so I'll be looking after my daughter, but I just want to thank you all for the mad love and respect that you've been rolling into the channel. 74,000 of you subscribed. Thank you so much for the love, and I will catch up with you tomorrow morning with a London video update, and then of course I'll be going live at 2 p.m. GMT, which is UK time, which would be 8 a.m. okay, in the New York session. Okay, so just keep an eye out on that, ladies and gentlemen, and I will catch up with you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Peace.